Now, bringing you the update on the results from Lebanon's parliamentary elections. As per the official results, Iran-backed Hezbollah and its allies have lost the majority in the parliament. The Shiite movement and its political allies had the support of around 70 out of 128 lawmakers in the outgoing assembly, but following Sunday's polls, they have fallen short of the 65 seats needed to retain a majority. Meanwhile, independent pro-reform candidates have managed to win at least 13 seats. The win by independent members of the parliament comes as a breakthrough. It reflects public anger at the country's financial collapse and lack of accountability for the Beirut port blast of 2020. However, which group secured lead in the polls remains unclear at this point. Hence, the new composition in Lebanon's parliament will be more comprehensive once more details on all the seats are out. And for more on this, our correspondent Gadi Francis joins us live from Beirut in Lebanon. Gadi, thank you for joining us. Can you begin by bringing us up to speed with the latest? We know that the Iran-backed Hezbollah have lost majority in the parliament. What can you tell us about the latest on these?
The Hezbollah organization and the Amal movement did maintain their seats as in Shiite representation inside the parliament. When we listen and when we hear about the losing the majority, here we're speaking about their Christian ally, which was around 25 plus in the past, and this time the FPM is entering the parliament with around 17 plus MPs. This is where the loss of the Hezbollah coalition in terms of majority. But also we must note that inside the parliament, in issues of votes, bills, and so on, some of the anti-Hezbollah, some of the reformists even would vote in the same alignment as for the Speaker of the House, Nabih Berri, and other matters. Some of them already have spoken to the media and said of such matters. In perspective, the loss that has happened is the gain for the reformists maintain 12 to 13 seats. Here, when we are not accurate, it is not because the number is not accurate. It is because in the Lebanese very complicated and intertwined politics, some personalities may be neutral in some issues, anti-Hezbollah in some issues, and might vote pro-Hezbollah in other issues, in matters of presidency or in matters of Speaker of the House and so on. This is why we cannot really say it is 100% this or that in Lebanese politics, but yes, the majority in the parliament is not sealed with the 71 as it was in the past.
Right, absolutely, Gadi. Thanks for clarifying that. Of course, that remains to be seen. But also, at the same time, what does this shift mean at a time when Lebanon is still reeling from the financial collapse?
Hello?
Well, we seem to be having a problem with that line. We will get Gadi back with us, but bringing you all the updates on the results from Lebanon's parliamentary elections. As per the official results, Iran-backed Hezbollah and its allies have lost majority in the parliament. Now, Gadi, can you hear me right now? So, Gadi, my question to you was, what does this shift mean for Lebanon at a time when it is reeling from a financial collapse?
Well, thank you for this question. Actually, what the media, the local and the international media, is not looking at is the rise in the dollar versus the Lebanese currency. It is reaching an unprecedented low in the terms of the value of currency, maybe around 4,000 Lebanese lira from the day of the elections till date. Also, all the matters of wheat and the matters of bread for daily life are also there's a whistle blowing in the country because we might have a big crisis. We might witness a big crisis in the coming 6 days in terms of food and basic necessities for the Lebanese people. The thing is, these elections, many of the researchers and the people who were tracking the Lebanese elections were saying that it is kind of irrelevant to the status quo because it will really bring back the same political class. The only new change here is that the retreat, the boycott of Saad al-Hariri resulted in a new kind of mix inside the parliament. It gave space for new faces, for 12 to 13 new faces entering the parliament with a different title under the title of reformists and October 17th. But in matter of deciding power in the country, actually Hezbollah still have the same kind of validation, FPM still has the same kind of validation, and the normal political class still have kind of the same kind of validation. So we cannot really expect a lot to happen. Now the fears from security problems, the fears from clashes here and there between the people fueled by the economic crisis, these are on the rise. People are expecting violence or problems, and we will continue to track that.
Right, absolutely, Gadi. Thank you so much for bringing us all the updates on this. WION is now available in your country. Download the app now. Get all the news on the move.